Hello and welcome. This is going to be my first YouTube video with a voiceover, and I'm going to kick it off with a dungeon that I've built on the Obsidian clan server. The first room that we'll be going into is a room that was built by a different clan member that I just transported to my dungeon and dressed it up a little bit. It uses False Book to generate some monsters as soon as you hit a pressure pad. So when you walk in here, I added these dungeon doors just to kind of make it look like they were coming out of the dungeons at you. It also generates an iron sword, as you can see, so you have a weapon to fend off the monsters with. When you step over this pressure pad, it'll reset it, so the next person that comes through can have the monsters spawn again for themselves. This room is a creation of mine that I just randomly thought of. Being that this is a multiplayer server, I wanted to come up with ideas that were self-resettable, not anything TNT that would blow up or anything like the single player servers to where you can't reset it without rebuilding it. So this room, I wanted it to look kind of normal when you walk into it, and then I use False Book again to trigger a bunch of bridges to open up to have the lava fall down and create a maze, a lava maze. I've added some secret stuff with False Book too. I mean, it's not too secret because you can see it, but if you keep walking straight, you'll kind of just bypass it. When you press the button, you got some pork. Help get you your hearts back. I currently have God mode on just so I won't die while I'm trying to get this video done. So you can come through here and you can see that the lava falls down from bridges on the roof into bridges on the ground, so it has somewhere to drain to leave the path. So it took quite a bit of wiring and stuff to get all these bridges done. The hardest thing that I had to overcome was figuring out how to get this all to reset. And what I'm talking about is when you walk in here, this pressure pad not only opens the door, but it closes off the bridges, so the room will self-reset. Problem is, lava takes a while to drain, so it's about a 15-minute reset, but it is still better than having to manually reset it. So this room, I made all pressure pads, and I will step on some of the wrong ones so you can see they shoot out arrows. So you got to kind of figure out what the path is through trial and error to get through this room without getting shot up with a bunch of arrows. Hence the pork I gave earlier to kind of get some back. This was actually down here when I started digging this mob spawner, so I decided just to go ahead and make a mob spawn room. Leave it kind of dark and ominous. Coming through here again, there's a lever that seems to not do anything, but if you click it off and then back on, it gives you a pork, so you can get some of your hearts back. Sometimes that mob spawner room will have like 5 or 6 mobs in it, so I've tried it out with some people not on God mode and they've been killed numerous times. Our server has the mod on there where you do take damage from creepers exploding, but they don't do damage to your structures, which is nice, so we can have creepers on here without blowing up my stuff. This is the last room. It's a maze. I just threw in some glowstone in the roof on a couple spots just to kind of add a little light into the room. So I don't want to add torches because it would light it up too much. Some of these corners are pretty bright where the glowstone is, but there's other dark areas in here as well, so you can't get turned around pretty easy. I mean, I built it, so I kind of know where to go pretty quickly, and I'm just going to run through the correct path because I don't want the video to be too long. Hopefully nobody on my server, once they see this, will study the path I'm running and just run through the maze very easily. But what we had done is the person that had me build this has a castle above us. This is, you know, obviously underground. It's a dungeon. I left that kind of really dark because I didn't want you to find the exit too easy. So I've left a lot of space, as you can see with these stairs. There's a lot of space in between stuff to go back and add more rooms later. It's just it took me, the bridge room took me like a couple days to figure out how to do, so I just kind of got to a point where I wanted to actually finish this. So they kind of already had this area here going from the castle because somebody else had the idea to build the dungeon. They just hadn't got around to it, so I offered to actually come down here and take over and build the dungeon. So it leads into another kind of wrecked, destroyed room. There was a prison underneath the castle. Some of this stuff I did too. I put in the doors for the prison cells. I put in this kind of torture pit down here with seating so you could watch people being tortured. And then it just follows up to a path for the castle that was already built. It's kind of a forgotten path type thing. And so anyways, I'll end it here because the path into the actual castle was blocked off because we didn't want people down here messing around while I was trying to get this built. So again, this is my first video. That was my first dungeon. I hope you like it. Anybody that sees this, comment it, like it, you know, all that stuff that they ask you to do on all the YouTube videos. I'd like to see a few people get watching this outside of people I know and outside of the clan, just to kind of give a little bit of feedback on this, so we'll see how that goes. And again, thank you. I plan to make some more videos in the future about different projects I build or just different projects I find on the server that I think are pretty cool, just to share with other people, and so the server admins can use it for recruiting purposes. So for the 5th time, thank you and goodbye.